I think it's important when you are measuring the effectiveness across departments to actually establish what is the key, if you like, KPI in that regard. We see many that go out and talk a lot about, yeah, our team is effective, yet there are no really KPIs to measure what actually determines their effectiveness. We see that a lot, in particular these days, in digitization and automation, where they don't really have a roadmap in how to go from, for example, a lot of large financial investment firms, banks, they've been heavily focusing on a lot of manual work in the area we are in, which is the onboarding area of KYC, AML, client classification in terms of investor protection and risk assessments. But very often we see them having an idea of things are progressing a bit better, maybe we're onboarding a bit faster, but without really understanding the core key drivers or data points behind that. It's massive. I come from the world, my background being a lawyer, where not understanding the business and not trying to understand actually what is it they are trying to achieve and being really more a catalyst in the growth is absolutely rewarding. So we don't see enough of that today in, again, investment firm, financial institutions and so forth. We very often actually see them as siloed functions, which is a massive problem in the market today. And that's one area where we can really feel if there's more communication about actually the objectives of the business and how the business can work together with back office and of course, back office functions, including compliance and legal. It will really drive the business very differently, where they both operate towards a common goal, and very rarely we see that. Well, automation is a massive empowerer to actually supporting all this. Unfortunately, we're not seeing enough speed towards automation and using, of course, data and really building a culture where data becomes absolutely an enormous empowerer into the business. Definitely through more AI discussions. I don't want to delve into the topic of AI, but through AI discussions, we are definitely seeing more people that typically would have probably ignored the topic of automation altogether. They're beginning to almost now actually ask about it. They're interested to learn a little bit more about it, and they are definitely keen to see how can this empower them and empower the business unit. So there is definitely a huge benefit in embracing both data and of course also automation, but I think it needs to be understood. What is the purpose of it? Why are we doing it? How can we do it better? And then really go to the drawing board together as a joint team to establish what is it that we want to achieve out of this. And to be frank with you, financial investment firms and similar, they would achieve massive positive results if they try to actually apply that logic towards their business. Yeah, I think one of the confusion is we hear a lot of people saying, oh, but compliance is, we have to do it this way because we can't afford to have our financial investment firm breach, we would be closed down, we would get fines, etc. But the reality is they're going to get fines and so forth from lack of doing anything rather than keeping what they are doing today as standard procedure, because I think we can all agree standard procedure today is just not working. The world has moved on. Complexity in regulation is massive these days, and very few people are onboarding locally, which means that trying to understand global regulation in a small infrastructure or large is not going to happen by keeping things as is. So I think there's definitely an element of trying to actually embrace that change, but with the potentially we're seeing what's out there and actually trying to build a culture that works towards that, because there is no doubt that working together on that unit will definitely enhance the results in those investment firms, financial investment firms, institutions, etc. Yeah, well, we love you guys for one main reason. You really making the market understand what's going on. We've been part of the RegTech 100 from day one. So we founded the company over a decade plus ago, and we absolutely love being in those type of, if you like, summits, because they really, really empower that change, and they're trying to educate the market what's out there. They're trying to really establish kind of a uniform understanding of actually what's going on, what is happening in this space, what solutions are out there. And a lot of these players that come to these events, they're obviously here to see, okay, what can we do better? Is there a way for us to enhance what we are doing? And many of them, they almost go home feeling, wow, we didn't even know this existed. And that to us is massive, because we've been embracing RegTech for more than almost 13 years actually now, and trying to really, do this by ourselves without having that injection coming from the market like you is not easy. So having basically summits like these and definitely forums like yours is bringing more and more of the market together, and the understanding is getting to a stage where it's much more common rather than fragmented. So we're excited about it.